Okay, well, I have a JVC CD multiple compact disc recorder that came in. This one is a model XL-R5000. And as you can see, there's a disc kind of sticking its tongue out right here. And it might have incurred just a slight amount of shipping damage. I don't think it's going to affect the performance, however. But I'm going to get this one up and open. We'll take a look at it and see what's going on. And this one has a note. Let's take a look at the note. And it says, "Hey Steve, here is my CD player recorder. I would like for you to check it out. The problem is the trays will not open. You can mess with it and finally get them to open, but the display is always wrong, so I guess it's got a lot of problems. It may have had a life-threatening stroke, but that's what I had thought about the DVD VHS player recorder, and you got it going with a little cleaning anyway. Check it out if you would, and hopefully it isn't too serious. Thanks, Larry from Duncan, Oklahoma." Okay, Larry, let's get the top off, see what it looks like inside. Okay, well, there is a view of the inside of the unit, and some of the plastic has become yellow from possibly smoke. I'm not quite sure, but let's go ahead and see if we can just lightly slide out the CDR that's in here, and it did come out very easily. So next, just going to power the thing up and see what happens. All right, here we go, power on. And so far nothing. We'll hit the power button and see what happens. And I hear a motor whirring from this neighborhood over here, which leads me to believe it might have a broken belt. And there it stopped. Okay, so as far as I can tell over here, the changer mechanism seems to be working just fine. It unloaded and reloaded and tried to find the disc. So I need to get into this unit right here and see what might be going on there. Okay, well, I did manage to pull the tray out just a little bit. It's free right here, and look what I see right there. That is a problem. Don't know if this gear will actually come off. No, it will not. Sorry it's overexposed. It's in manual exposure, but look at that belt. How slow it moves. That's the problem. Hopefully it just needs a belt. We may have to clean some switches, the in and out detect switches, but we'll see once we get a new belt back on this unit. Okay, new belt is installed. Let's go ahead and try to run the drawer and see what happens. Power on. And it does try to load perfectly fine. Now let's see if this will open the drawer. And like I said, we're probably gonna have to clean a switch or two. So it opened that time. It did close and try to read the disc. And that time it did stay open. Okay, well, let's go ahead and try to get this mechanism out of here and clean the in and out switches as well as the optical pickup. Then we'll try to clean the other optical pickup as well. All right, so the CD mechanism is out. Just a couple connectors on the side here, some ribbon cables and some wired connectors. And so next I need to go ahead and pull this board completely loose, flip it over, and we'll see if we can get to the CD in and out switches and get a little Deoxit in them. Bring them back to life. Okay, I've got the loading motor board out, and it has the in-out switches as part of the board. So I've got my Fluke 117 because this thing kicks the 87's ass when it comes to continuity tests. So if you're going to want to do a continuity test, get a 115 or a 117. They are basically instantaneous response tests. So I'm just going to go ahead and push the switch down very gently. And I should be getting a beep, but look at the ohms I'm getting. There's the beep. Still no beep. This will only beep if it's 50 ohms or less. Nothing. And so that is the problem. Let's go ahead and give it some Deoxit, and we'll see if it helps the situation at all. Work it a bunch of times. Now we'll see what it does. 1 ohm. Still not perfect. Let's hit it with some more Deoxit. I'm just trying to blast it inside the case here. That's what I want to see. When I press it down, basically I want a continuous beep from the time it makes contact to the time I let it up. Still not absolutely perfect, but it's a mile closer to perfect than where it was. So I get a double beep a couple times. That's what I want right there. That's perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and exercise this switch a few more times, and then we'll go ahead and tackle the other one. Okay, now on to the second switch. This one is untouched. Yeah, that's a problem. Let's go ahead and shoot some Deoxit in this one too. Much better already. That's what I want to see. Alright, I have the CD mechanism completely reassembled except for the drawer. So I have to put the belt on it, clean the pulleys and whatnot, but I want to go ahead and service the optical pickup. So here is the optical pickup with the flashlight. You can certainly see how much gunk there is on the lens. So let's go ahead and give it a quick cleaning. So just a regular cotton swab, moistened with regular household glass cleaner, nothing with ammonia, because ammonia will strip the optical coating off of these lenses. I'm just going to go ahead and clean it in a circular motion with very, very light pressure. And then we'll go ahead and dry it off with the dry end. Same thing, very light pressure and cleaning only in a circular motion. And I certainly think that looks much better already. Let's go ahead and give it the flashlight treatment and see what it looks like with the flashlight. Oh yeah, it's at least 10 times better. Okay, off camera, I'm going to go ahead and clean the pulleys for the belt with some acetone and a cotton swab, put the belt on it, put this thing back together, and see what happens. Okay, well I have the single drawer all back together and it works absolutely perfectly. Now on to the multi-drawer. This is the 3-disc changer on this side. So I'm thinking we've got some select switches that are in the same situation as the in-out switch on the single drawer. So if I try to open this drawer, and of course that time it worked perfectly. Let's go ahead and pop a disc into it, close it. We'll ask it to play. And of course that time it works flawless. Of course, because I'm filming. So we'll stop that one, take it out, and I know I pressed eject, and it put it back in. Press eject again, and it just went up, down, eject. No, I said eject all the way out. Oh, we're gonna do this again? Oh my God, eject. Okay, actually ejected. Let's go ahead and close this one and we'll open disc number 3. And we'll open disc number 3. And we're not going to open disc number 3. Oh, there it goes. So yeah, I'm thinking we definitely have some select switch issues. So I'm going to press play for disc number 3 and we'll see what happens. Oh, you're confused. That's disc number 1 again. Disc 3, play. Oh, so close. So close. Oh, it's happening, sweetheart. Or it's not. It might actually happen. And it did. It actually is playing disc number 3. So I think we're going to have to address these switch issues in this thing. So over here on the side, kind of hard to see, but each one of those is a switch. There's 3 on the top, 3 in the front, and there's probably multiple switches down below. So I'm going to pull this thing apart and see if we can get to these things and deoxit them. See if it'll give it back now. Nope. Oh, come on, don't be that way. 18th time's a charm. Oh my God. Stop. Eject. Oh, what's happening, sweetheart? There it is. Disc out. Okay, power off. Let's tear this thing apart. Holy moly, it's got a mind of its own. Okay, well there is the board that detects whether the drawers are in the normal state or out. It has 3 switches for in and 3 switches for out. So I'm just gonna go ahead and shoot Deoxit into these things, work them a couple hundred times, put it back together, and hopefully that's good because I do not wanna have to tear this thing apart to get to the mechanism mode select switch. Now it seems to be working just fine, but to get to that switch, I've got to tear the whole CD mechanism and all the drawers out of this unit. And I don't wanna do that unless absolutely necessary. So hopefully this will remedy the customer's issue. And since the CD mechanism is out of this thing and easy to access the optical pickup, just one screw and the top pops off. Let's go ahead and hit it with a flashlight. How did this thing even play a disc? That is the question. Once again, cotton swab moistened with regular household glass cleaner. Circular motions only. And then the dry end, dry it off. Rotating the cotton swab. What a difference. Little LED action right there. Much, much better. Okay, let's throw this thing back together and see what happens. All right, folks, I really didn't want to have to come down to this, but there it is. The CD mechanism is out of the chassis. All these gears and screws and whatnot are loose. And look what I see down here. Not one, but 1, 2 mode select switches. So next I got to pull these gears out, get to those mode select switches, tear them apart, clean them, and put it back together. And I think this thing is going to be good. Incidentally, these 2 belts that are in here are actually in pristine condition for the age. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully I can figure out how this jigsaw puzzle goes back together. Well, at least I got them out. I'm not sure if I can put this thing back together, but let's go ahead and see if we can get these things apart. So I think if I just go ahead and pull these 3 screws out, this whole circuit board will lift out and these posts will pull out of the center because I can't release these tabs with the post in the center. So let's go ahead and give that a try. Okay, so I got the post out of the middle. We just got to pop these things open. I should remember how to do this. I was a JVC authorized service center back in the 90s. And I'm going to say that is the problem. Look at how oxidized these things are. I'm surprised it worked at all. First, let's do an acetone test to see if the acetone eats the plastic of this mode select switch. And to do that, just grab some acetone and a cotton swab and swab a portion of the switch, which doesn't matter. And if this turns black, which it did not, then acetone will not eat this mode select switch. So I'm going to go ahead and clean it out really good. Much better. Next, we're going to scuff up the contacts with the stainless toothbrush. This might take a moment because there's 2 of them and they're large switches. All right, well, I think that is definitely much better. Let's hit it with some more acetone. All right, certainly looks much better than when we started. Now we'll go ahead and wipe off the movable portion. Okay, ready for dielectric grease. Okay, pretty happy with that. We'll snap them back together and run them around a few times. Okay, let's put this thing back together now. Okay, just an update, partially through the reassembly process. I have the mode select switches mounted, the gears synced, although there really is no timing marks because these things, this one runs this belt over here, and then this one runs this belt over here, and there's a transmission shift lever right here that engages and disengages this gear because it's totally not synced right now, but that doesn't matter. Once it engages, it'll find its home location and everything should be good. So just got to put the trays back in this thing, put it back in the chassis and see what happens. Okay, all back together. Let's go ahead and pop a disc into number 1. And we'll pop a disc into number 2. And we'll ask number 1 to play first. And number 1 is playing perfectly. So let's skip ahead a few tracks. So next, we'll ask number 2 to play. So it should eject number 1, move up to number 2, load number 2, and play number 2. And it's playing perfectly. So let's go ahead and skip ahead. This disc has 18 tracks, so let's go to track 17 to be safe. And it's working, so let's eject disc number 1 while disc number 2 is playing. And we'll go ahead and load this into disc number 3. And we'll close it and ask it to play disc number 3 now. And it's working great. So just for the heck of it, let's take the disc out of number 2 and we'll put it in the single drawer. We'll close the single drawer. And it's going to read the table of contents on it. And we'll go ahead and hit play when it's done. And it's playing just fine. So once again, we'll go up to, there's track 17 on the single drawer. And there's 18 on the single drawer. Working perfectly. Once again, the JVC XL-R5000 repaired. I have no clue how I got this thing back together and made it work, but it is working. I certainly do hope you enjoyed the repair on this JVC CD player. Go ahead and leave me a question, a comment, a concern down below, good or bad. I try to respond to the comments when I have time. While you're down there, hit that subscribe button and like this video. It really helps my channel grow. You can follow me on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter at NorCal715. You can email me, NorCal715videos@gmail.com. That is the best way to contact me. Please be patient. I have a full-time job and I do this in my spare time. Incidentally, if you send me a message on social media, Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, it might be weeks or months before I check it because I rarely look at those messages. Please, if you want to contact me, use Gmail. Remember, with your help, we can try to keep these things out of the landfill, out of the recycle bin, and out of the e-waste facility. Everyone, thank you for making it to the end of this video. I really appreciate it. Everyone have a great day. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.